claws for alarm.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Goreclaw, Terror of Khal Sisma. Goreclaw is a bear that cares about power 4 or greater, which means that that's the theme of their deck. We have lots of cards that have power 4 or greater. Whenever Goreclaw attacks in, all your other creatures, including Goreclaw that have power 4 or greater, get +1/+1 and trample, which means that you turn your big creatures into even bigger creatures. In this deck, we want to do a little bit of early ramping into big creatures, many of which either have haste, enter the battlefield abilities, or powerful on-cast abilities like Cityscape Leveler. There's no reason not to run tons of big boys in this deck because Goreclaw also discounts your power 4 or greater creatures. This deck is a great way to curve turn 1 or 2, you ramp, turn 3 you can get down Goreclaw, and if you manage to double ramp before that, sometimes you can even land some of these 3 or 4 cost creatures like Guildpact Greenwalker or Lovestruck Beast, Ronus the Indomitable, tons of big creatures that you can throw into play with Goreclaw. This is the tried and true green stompy strategy. And it's really fun if you can get Goreclaw to stick around for a turn or two and buff up your board, get in a lot of trample damage, and win a lot of games. We're going to take Goreclaw into the queue and we're going to bear down on our opponents with a whole bunch of green stompy. Atraxa, Praetor's Voice. This is the proliferating Atraxa. Hey there, Atraxa. What do you think it'll be? +1/+1 counters? Poison? Perhaps planeswalkers? All of those are good with this Atraxa, and she herself is very strong. Being a 4/4 with Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink for 4 mana adds up. That's a lot. Let's go ahead and throw down a 1/1. That's right. You'll never defeat Rachel, the human token. Castle Garenbrig. We can play some of these little rampers. A little ramp and scamp. Boop. Hoping this is a Slime Against Humanity deck. I don't think it is. And it's definitely not poison, because if they're just ramping, that's not what a poison deck would want to do. This is Planeswalkers. This is a Super Friends Atraxa deck. Hi there, delighted halfling. I can't counter stuff anyway. We could go for Goreclaw to try and cast a bunch of spells next turn. I'll exile the Polluted Delta from their graveyard. And then hopefully next turn, we have 4 mana and we can drop down like Lovestruck Beast, Ronus, Questing Beast, or some of our little guys. Hi, Kiora. Kiora will draw a card when Atraxa enters the battlefield. And here she is! Atraxa, draw a card. It's a command tower. And they undo that loss of loyalty here. I'm feeling we are gonna want this. Castle Garenbrig. The Questing Beast. A Lovestruck Beast. A Primal Adversary. And I'm saving the Ronus for next turn. What I will say, like, hey, do you want to trade? Asking for friends. Okay, they're down. I could replay that next turn. We deal 5 damage to Kiora using Questing Beast's Bite. Oh, Death of Spam! Thank you for the 39-month resub!
39 months. When divided by the tier, that is Prime. Hey chat, use your free Prime sub here to support this awesome streamer.
Oh, thank you so much. Death of Spam, thank you so much for subscribing at tier 3. Thank you for the extra big show of support. It's very appreciated. Thank you so much. Also, thank you for putting up with my bad jokes for like 3 whole years plus. They're brainstorming. I wonder if they're just digging for a board wipe. They have plenty of white mana. Board wipe, board bounce, anything like that. Mirari's Wake is going to make it so their lands tap for 2. And their creatures get bigger. Untapping that command tower. They have 3 mana left. They push! If I play Ronus, by the way, Lovestruck Beast can't attack because this will become a 2-2, unless I also play the Tangled Forahedron. It's not a joke. That's just how the cards work. That said, looks like Cure will be dead no matter what. If I do that, not going to be lethal, so instead we're going to go for Castle Garen Brig. Give me 6 mana. Goreclaw, and I am playing this as a land. Swinging this here and these here. If I had an untapped land, I think I would have gone for Ronus, since this would have been able to attack. Could have been fun. It wouldn't have done too much, because it wouldn't have been dealing damage until I tapped it. It's still good. Alright, so Liliana plussing, not minusing. I think we're good. She gains some life, but we have a lot of creatures. We're about to have even more damage here. Hello. 1 Ronus, please. GG. Vadric, Astral Archmage. Vadric discounts your spells and gets bigger when it becomes daytime, nighttime, or nighttime, daytime. This hand has some ramp in it. It's a little slower ramp since it all costs 2 mana. And I'll have to choose between creature-based ramp and land-based ramp. I'm going to start with land-based ramp, since it's harder for their deck to interact with. Vadric, by the way, very oftentimes is playing lots of kill spells, counter spells, things that allow you to just pass through the turn, holding up that mana. We've got ourselves a land. Now, I could play Goreclaw here. I don't think that's a good plan. Instead, we're going to go for Topiary Stomper to continue our land-based ramp. Grab ourselves a forest, and then play Elvish Mystic. We've got 4 mana now. Vadric, would you like to come out? Great. And now their spells cost 1 less, so they could cast an instant or sorcery. That costs 2 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Goreclaw. Into Ghalta. Now we got a lot of stuff on this battlefield. It's still daytime because we cast spells during our turn. Now they could just like play a land and pass, and then he would be giving a discount of 2. Sometimes Vadric decks are also Storm decks. Those tend to be kind of funky. Oh yeah. We're gonna go for Hrothga. Hrothga is an alchemy card that essentially doubles permanently the power and toughness of a creature. Now, it's going to be the next thing we cast. And what do you think the next thing I cast should be? Obviously, it's going to be Ghalta. Coming out, girl! Hopefully this doesn't get countered. Because I want a 24/24. Of course I want a 24/24. I'll pop these into play, sure. Why cast spells when we can do whatever this is? Go to combat, and we're gonna attack him. Yeah, Hrothga can be very cool. This is a card that you don't really see played that much, but it's very nice in a big power matters deck because you're making your big power more big power. Hrothga, by the way, in the story, is the beast that Luca bonded to. It's supposed to be kind of like centaur-like, which I don't really get centaur vibes off this guy. Anyway, this infected Luca and turned him into a Phyrexian. Whoops. Mentor's Guidance. So they didn't cast anything on my turn. And I also made it back into daytime because I cast 2 spells, Rothgan and Galta. Do you have a mass bounce spell or a board wipe? They have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana and a discount of 3. Mishra's Command. They're going to spend mana to buff Vadric up. So Vadric, for the low cost of 1 mana, is going to get 3 additional power. He's also going to be filtering the hand. Diggy, diggy, diggy. What goes to the graveyard? We've got an increasing vengeance to duplicate some spells. They're gonna strike it rich, get an extra mana. That's 1 mana for 1 mana. I'm really hoping it's like a Mind's Desire being cast here. That would make me pretty happy. I like Mind's Desire. Chaos, baby. Free spells, but you don't know what they are. Pick setup, too. Could be an extra turn spell. They have a big discount. It could be a River's Rebuke. It could be a Cyclonic Rift. Silver Scrutiny. Drawing 6 cards. Looks to me we're starting to run out of things they can cast. So, like, right now, since they've got this treasure, unless they have a spell that makes more treasure, they're pretty much out of options. Looks like that's going to be game. GG, Vadric. Malcolm, Alluring, Scoundrel. This is a mono blue flash commander. Comes on in and eventually starts casting spells for free. When he hits you, he gets to loot. And after he gets 4 chorus counters on that 4th loot, he ends up taking whatever card he's discarded and casting it for free. Malcolm is typically a lot of counter spells and a couple spells that remove abilities. In general, though, a big pain in the butt to play against unless you have something that's preventing counter spells, which right now we don't have. We do have Blighted Halfling in the deck, and we have Prowling Serpapard in the deck. But what I don't have in this deck is Allosaurus Shepherd. Because I just, you know, kind of gave up. I'm sick and tired of all these ding-dang counterspells. I also love a turn 2 Gwenna. So right now, we have so much mana, but only for casting big boys, which is just fine. I'm going to try to cast some big boys. We've got Defiler of Vigor. We can go for Goreclaw, but she won't untap. I am going to go for the Defiler here. This will untap Gwenna. If they counter our Defiler. Okay. I've got this extra ability here where I can pay life instead of a green mana pip on some of these permanents. And they're syncopating our second spell, but we still get the buff from the Defiler of Vigor. They're hitting a second time here with Malcolm. And notably, I do have a couple creatures with reach. I've got cards like Elder Gargaroth and Vorinclex. But right now, I don't have any of them. Nykthos gives me loads of extra mana here. We're going to pay 2. Activate Nykthos. Tap for green, tap for green. Trying to decide if I want to just go for Goreclaw. Yeah, I'm just going to go for Goreclaw. Still paying life. This will not untap Gwenna. Keep paying life. Life is a resource. Keep paying life, baby! Gwenna, untap! They saw it coming. Okay, well, at least Gwenna will get to untap, and we're still going to swing in for 18 damage. As I said before, we got life. We're gonna pay it. Cool. I prioritized damage over card draw. So did they for our counter spelling. Turned out in our favor. GG, Malcolm. Vorinclex, another big, mean, green creature for us to play up against. I have some ramp in this. I have something that stops counter spells. Not really going to be relevant against Vorinclex. Vorinclex, by the way, is also in our deck. This is a Vorinclex with Trample and Reach. Enters the battlefield, puts forests into your hands, and then can flip over to get you some creatures for free. I'll start with the Paradise Druid. Since it's got hexproof, it's pretty tricky for a green deck to remove. And then next turn, we can do loads of ramp. Utopia Sprawl, that still leaves them with 1, 2, 3 mana here. Ooh, getting those booties out. They did play their second land. Alright, so they got a Mystic with boots on. I think we're just bringing out Goreclaw. It's unlikely they'll be able to remove this next turn. They could have, like, a creature that they throw down, and then a Blizzard Brawl. But I don't think they will. Here comes Vorinclex. 5 mana for a 6/6. Bigger than my Goreclaw. I have mana. We will use it. I'm going to bring out the Titan of Industry because it's big. I am going to destroy their booties and I think just make a Rhino. They could still flip over Vorinclex with just a bit more mana because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Llanowar Tribe, that's 3 more mana for next turn. Wish we had one of our card draw engines here, but I'll settle for just ramping and spitting a bunch of critters onto the board. Let's see. Yeah, Shifting Ceratops. Serpapard. We're having a party. And I'm just waiting here because ideally I'm just swinging in for enough damage that it stops them next turn. They can potentially get 2 good creatures out. It's whatever creatures happen to be in the top 10 cards. And since they are a big green rampy deck, just like us, they'll probably find some good ones. Probably more than 6/6 power and toughness. Ooh, Invasion of Zendikar, 2 more lands. Vorinclex flip is very good. And they still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not enough for Vorinclex flip. Oh, prime time! Next turn they can. I know Shifting Ceratops is kind of old school at this point, but it still makes me happy. I'm going to start by just drawing. Hey, can I get like a henge? Ooh, Volitional Oddity. Wish I could flip it. How much damage do I have if I attack in with all these? 5, 10, 15, 21, 29. Okay, yeah, okay. Everybody in. Go get them, sweeties. It's a lot. Perhaps lethal. It would be nice. Like, currently, this is, I believe, lethal damage going through. They need to change their blockers to be maximizing the amount of damage prevented, which will kill these guys. But they have a nick, though, so it's not like they don't have plenty of mana. They live with 1 with optimal blocks. Yeah, and that's with blocking the Titan and the Shifting Ceratops. Okay, great. They have 1 life left. Yes, we could Glimpse the Core, or we could play the Tangled Florahedron as a creature. It's like, do I want it as a creature or land? I would play it as a creature. Since we only need to deal 1 damage, that deals 1 damage. That just gives us more critters on this board. Look at all that mana, though. I think they could play and flip Vorinclex with this Nykthos here. Cavalier of Thorns, that gets them another land, and it gets them 3 more Devotion. Throw in some more critters in the graveyard. I didn't play a land that turn. That's why I was trying to say I either want to play it as a land or play it as a creature. Here comes Vorinclex. Hey! Still have over 12 mana left with that Nykthos. They're gonna flip it over. Swoosh. Oh, I see a big Vorinclex. Oh, and Blossoming Tortoise. Cute. So now they have, maybe I should call it medium-sized Vorinclex. Medium-sized Vorinclex will accelerate this. If they manage to have another turn, this will be nuts. Now, do I have enough mana to transform this? Because that might actually be better than swinging with everything, depending on what they have here. Now, if they attack with 2 things there, they're taking away 2 blockers to get them 1. It's not going to be enough. We still have lethal. We're both wide enough and big enough that we're getting damage through no matter what. GG. Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. And a bunch of ramp. We love ramp here. They're saying, hey. Hey. Turn 1, Kami of Bamboo Groves, putting an extra land in. My god, it's a swamp. Turn 2, we'll pop down Selvala and swing in for 1. Selvala does generate lots and lots of mana if we have some big boys out, and can draw us cards if we have the biggest boys. This is the Nicol Bolas, by the way, that makes you discard when it enters the battlefield and transforms into a big scary planeswalker. Ooh, hi Rothga. Rothga into Goreclaw would be very cute. I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna do Rothga here. I do not have additional mana, so I can't activate Selvala. But I also don't feel I need to activate Selvala here. An Arcane Signet, more ramp, a treasure map for scrying, getting treasures. Making sure it's not tapping Selvala yet. We're gonna draw a card off of Goreclaw. Oh, and now we have all the mana in the world. No, please activate you, and I want you to generate green mana. We are a mono-green deck. Thank you. Ronus. Swordtooth. Forest. A Scrap Gorger. Now, I know, like, I'm leaning into if they have a board wipe, good luck. And we know they have at least 1 board wipe, Blood on the Snow. I don't care. I have creatures. I'm going to play them. Also, this is a perpetual buff on Goreclaw, so even if she dies, she's still going to be an 8/7. That's game. Aggro. Stompy. Green. Heliod. Sun Crown. Gains life. Gets counters. And is a big, indestructible enchantment until it becomes a creature. I mulliganed there because I needed to make sure I had some ramp, and ramp I did find. We found Delighted Halfling. Just a cute little hobbit. Turn 2, I don't have anything to do, so I'll swing in for 1. Heliod is going to be playing tons of life gain cards. Things that care about life gain, give you extra triggers for gaining life. You know, the goods. And here's Goreclaw, uncounterable thanks to the Delighted Halfling. No mana tithes here. They've got Heliod in play. I am going to start by attacking in. And the reason for this is because it's going to give me a bitter discount on the Great Henge. If you're wondering, Amy, why are you not just immediately slamming down Primeval Titan? The answer is because I think that they could still have things like board wipes in their deck, and I would rather make sure I'm getting this henge down now in case I have no creatures next turn. Indestructible Commander, even if it is one that benefits you for life gain, still means Wrath of God is a playable card in the deck. Rally for the throne! They're gonna gain some life and get some dudes. Guess who else can gain life? Bam, it's me. I gained 2 life and floated 2 mana. I have so many good big boys here. If I destroy one of these, they get a Power Stone. They can use the Power Stone for Heliod's abilities. That is fine, but I'm going to start with the Primeval Titan. Let's get some lands. Yes, I would love some lands. Specifically, I would love Nykthos and Lair of the Hydra. Did we draw a land? We did. Or did we draw a creature? We did. We can play additional lands because of the Sword Tooth. We're going to swing in with these 2. Big trample. Big whammies. Nice. In Ulvenwald Oddity, the more mana we have, the better. Because if we can transform it, we can give all of our creatures trample and haste. 5 mana now. Now, blocking with these little guys and giving them lifelink does not prevent much damage, since we're going to have trample on everything that's 4 or more power. I love the halflings. She's just chilling here. She's like, yeah, this is fun. I'm having a great time. Look at my toy. I wonder if Dr. Distortion usually plays Thought Distortion. Great card in a black deck. Ooh, it's Cerise! Slayer of Fear. Gets you creatures based on that, life gain. Let's go for... I'm trying to see if I have enough to play Oddity and transform it. I very much do. In fact, we can do that. Ooh, we can do a little more. Thank you, Nykthos, generating obscene amounts of mana. I want big Serpapard. Alright, we're going to use this. 15 mana. Activate! Ooh, extra land. Extra land. Cityscape Leveler. There is no Cerise. And we're gonna swing in with everything. GG, Heliod. Obzedat, Ghost Council. It's a spirit that can leave the battlefield and then come back the next turn, draining your opponent, getting haste, hitting hard, and then disappearing again. A very ghost-like thing to do. Obzedat is usually supplemented with a couple of just good pieces of Orzhov cards. I feel like there's not usually a huge theme to them, and that's fine. Let's bring out the Sword Tooth so I can play an extra land. Oh, Tithe! I wouldn't be naming Dinosaur on this anyway. To be honest, I think you name Elf a lot of times in this deck, or Beast in this deck, over Bear. Three mana now. Elspeth's Nightmare kills the Elvish Mystic, which means no bears for me. I'll go for the Paradise Druid. They'll get to see my hand, and there's nothing I can discard, since there's no non-creature, non-land cards in my hand. We have creatures in our deck. Shouldn't surprise you that our deck is mostly creatures, since it's a mono-green stompy deck. Nice. Adeline. Attacking in will get them extra attackers. We've got 5 mana. 6 if we use Garenbrigg, so we're going to use Garenbrigg to go Goreclaw into Hrothga. Now, I have to be very careful about something. We do not want the next creatures we play to be either of these, because they will get a buff of nothing. They would get nothing from Hrothga. I'd rather they kill Goreclaw and we cast Goreclaw again. Yeah, like that. Thank you! Thank you, Obzedat player, for killing Goreclaw so I can play it again and get the buff from Hrothga. Bear. Flag bearer? Wait. What creature is a flag bearer? Honest question? I don't know if I've ever seen a flag bearer as a creature type before. Some randos from Apocalypse? Oh, Apocalypse. Thank you. Oh, and also, Fiona, thank you so much for gifting a 6-month sub to Aeon's Torn! Thank you! Aeon's Torn, I hope that you enjoy your beautiful ad-free viewing and silly emotes. Macaronis and cheese. Big Goreclaw. Really big Goreclaw. She's a 2311. Damage. GG. Anim Pakal. We got some Boros aggro against mono green aggro. I have an okay turn 2 into turn 3 here, but they're going to be going a lot faster than we are because, well, that's a turn 1 Ragavan. Yeah, that would do it. Here, I was just thinking, like, oh, we got a Florahedron down on turn 2 into a Garruk's Harbinger. Anim Pakal, whenever you attack in, as long as you're attacking with something that's not a gnome, does not need to be her, gets a +1/+1 counter and some gnomes. The gnomes are also attacking. What'd you steal? My forest? Hey, I probably need that. Maybe. Please don't kill my Florahedron. They swing in with Ragavan, and we are going to trade it with our Tangled Florahedron, because that monkey is, well, there's some serious monkey business. It means I'm not playing Goreclaw this turn, but Garruk's Harbinger I think will do just fine. And they mana tithed it. Seriously, bro? My binger? How am I supposed to binge harbs now? Robber of the rich, they got loads of haste in here. They're gonna get an extra counter and a bunch more gnomes. This also stinks because it means I have no devotion for Nykthos. I do have 4 mana now. We can go for the Questing Beast. This will be the best blocker available to us. Goreclaw will get us discount so we can double spell on the next turn, but I think we gotta go for the Beast. And we may as well swing in since we got that Vigilance and Haste. At least we got more lands. They could update this Paladin class to level 2. These all get stronger. Looks like Anim Pakal is not swinging in, but everybody else is. That's going to be like 12 damage. I think it may have actually been lethal if they attacked with Anim Pakal, or at least forced me on that. Yeah, so that's 12. If they had attacked with Anim Pakal, we would be dead. Hi, hey. It's all I got! Good game, Anim Pakal. She's really good. She's a really good card. Oh, and thank you, Aaron, for the sub! Yeah! Koth, Fire of Resistance. He's very good at ramping, getting mountains into play, destroying your creatures by dealing damage equal to the number of mountains, and eventually ulting. Because his ability is a +2 ability, he's also really hard to kill with combat damage. Dang it, Koth. I got some ramp. Hopefully this does not just die. They used Ren's Resolve, so we know what cards they have here. And thankfully, their one ring is going to be exiled forever. Don't have to worry about it. But they do have 2 mana, and I think Llanowar Loam Speaker's going. We lit on fire. So sad. Too bad. All right, well, I could play a 4-3. Or I could play a 5-5 that can't attack or block. I think that the Ronus is the best choice here because next turn they can play Koth. And Koth will be able to deal 3 damage to a creature. Ronus will be able to attack or block once we get the Goreclaw out. Chandra, dressed to kill. Generates a mana, which then immediately disappears. Play this Hash Up Oasis. I am going to put the Sprawl onto another land. It gets me extra mana. And I'm actually tempted to do the Adversary over Goreclaw. Yeah, I think that that's probably a little better. This still allows Ronus to attack, so I can take out Chandra. And if this Primal Adversary dies to, I don't know, the lightning strike we can see in Exile, I don't feel so bad about it. And we have 5 mana for next turn. That's enough for a big ol' ape. They currently have only 3 mountains, so this is actually very safe. Goreclaw is significantly less safe. And I don't have a follow-up spell for it. So we're going to go for this big ol' ape. The big monkey, Silverback Elder. This allows Ronus the Indomitable to attack. Bam. 5 beautiful damage. Are you going to crack open the Cryptic Caves? Probably not, because you want to have mana. Alright, so now they have 4, but 4 does not kill either of these guys. They're getting a mountain. It goes into hand. They still have 2 mana up and a Mirror Convert. Aw, Mirror Convert with a slight buff. I feel like I kind of want to Rec Sage that so I can deal more damage. Yeah, we're going to use Reclamation Sage. Oh, wait, I forgot that I get this on attack. Never mind. I guess we'll get a land. I forgot that this is also killable through this ability. Whoops. I am going to attack Koth with the Silverback Elder. Ronus at their face. Use that extra 3 mana. To buff the Elder. Deal 7 damage to Koth. Oh, I'm being asked what's happened to Vivian in the story. We have not seen her for quite some time. She is currently, I guess, whereabouts unknown. And I don't actually think we know her spark status. Yeah, she helped kill Luca. But she hasn't had a card. So she's probably doing just fine. Vibing, chilling, hanging. Ooh, nice Bloodthirsty Adversary in this guy. I don't know, that gives me a lot of damage to their face. I don't quite have enough to kill them. I could get them to 1 life. Wait, never mind. I have lethal. We're not even using Goreclaw, apparently. We're just going to go ahead and be able to find a land here. 5 + 5 + 6. That's 1 extra. GG, Koth. Sorry, Goreclaw, you didn't get to come out. I was too afraid of you dying. Ojer Kaslem, Deepest Growth. Ojer Kaslem, just like us, is a big green stompy commander, but their commander does a whole lot more once she's on the battlefield. She tries to hit the opponent and, based on the amount of damage dealt, digs into the deck and gets creatures and lands into play for free. We have to pay mana, sure, less mana than we normally would, but they just get to hit our face to get free creatures and lands. Also, if it dies, turns into a land, can be used to cast even more cool stuff. I'm gonna go for Incubation Druid over Glimpse the Core here. Doesn't really matter that much, since either way, we're going for Goreclaw next. And here she is, Goreclaw! Goreclaw saying, ooh, look at how deep we can discount these. Probably want to get Primeval Titan out next. Nice, that taps for 3. Primeval Titan will get me more lands. More lands is more fun, and we will always pretty much get the same ones. Nykthos. Flare the Hydra, and I'll swing in for 5. Nice. This taps for 3, though, so, like, Ojer Kaslem can come out. And more! They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 if they're just planning on casting creature spells. They'll also draw some cards off up the beanstalk if they cast some big boys, like their commander. Nice. They went for Defiler of Vigor. They still have 3 mana left they can use to cast creatures, but they can also pay 1 green mana less for permanent spells and pay 2 life instead. Oh, Sharp-Eyed Rookie gets bigger when bigger creatures enter the battlefield and gets them clues. Some extra card draw in green. Hi, Selvala. You're cool. I will get lots of mana here. We're gonna tap 1, 2 for its Uvenwald Oddity. I'm gonna tap 1, 2 for Nykthos. We're gonna put that Nykthos mana into the little Garen Brig here. And here comes Vorinclex. Draw me a card. Oh, right, you're bigger. And I guess I'll get an extra land into play from this. So I could attack in here. I don't think it's a good idea, since Defiler Vigor currently an 8/8. Infinite money glitch. Yeah, we have so much mana. And also, if they want to tap their lands, they will stay tapped for an extra turn. Tribute to the World Tree, that's some card draw. We could destroy it off the Reclamation Sage, or Cityscape Leveler. Cityscape Leveler, I think I'm gonna go for the Defiler of Vigor, though. Selvala can at least generate loads of mana for them. They probably don't even want to tap lands, so they just won't unless they absolutely need to. Nice, Fierce Empath. So if they grabbed, oh, I don't know, a Crater Hoof Behemoth, just as an example, would they have lethal here? I don't think so. Okay, so they're going for Cityscape Lever. They're gonna blast my Vorinclex. That's completely fair. I would do the same if I were them. Things happen. Look at how chunky she's getting. I've never seen a Sharp-Eyed Rookie get this big. And Nissa, who shakes my world. She untaps lands. Do it. Do it. Untap it. And lets them attack. You swinging in? You got some big boys there. Am I willing to double block that? Nah, I'm taking a hit. Jobri, thank you for the sub. Oh, hey, Galta. Galta putting these into play gets me a lot of, like, blockitude. Actually, not really what I need right now. So anyway, I start blasting. Get ourselves a happy little land. They can't escape the Cityscape Leveler. I can eat one of these up. But I'm pretty sure I'm dead anyway. So let's party. Cash, thank you for gifting a sub to Ikato! Also, Cash, thank you for the sub. Ooh, and Lupine Volt, thank you for gifting us up to Sensei! No, Aru! We're close back. Cool hand. It seems pretty great. You want a game with your Atraxa slime deck, Dr. Dank? Nice. Let me die, Kaslem. She never came out. There we go. They'll attack in. I will not be able to prevent lethal damage, I'm pretty sure, because that's a big trampoline, boy. Good game. How's my coffee this morning? Very good. Okay, they're just gonna keep going. All right, bye. You have lethal. Bye. Tajik, Legion's Valor. He's indestructible, and he's very strong and gets bigger every turn. Tajik is one of those fairly new Boros aggro cards that comes with its own army. It's very, very good and can be very tough to play against because it's supplemented not just by how good it is, but by how good the rest of the Boros aggro cards that you can play are. Hello there, Paradise Druid, my sweet hexproof mana dork. Let me get my Goreclaw out a little early. Ooh, Urabrask's Force will be attacking in with a 1-1. Then next turn a 2-1. Then a 3-1. But they always die at the end of the turn. I could use the Reclamation Sage here. If I wanted to, I think that, like, Arcane Signet into Reclamation Sage would be fine, since it would set me up to double spell on the Goreclaw turn. So I will do that. I'm going to use the Rec Sage here. This will be dealing a lot of damage to me. That's why I want to get rid of it now. And here comes Tajik. Comes the 1-1 with First Strike. It has to attack. You may as well attack in with both. Indestructible First Strike. We have no good block there. This is why we were waiting. We can bring out Goreclaw. And now I can play, well, either of these. I could also foretell this, but I'm not going to. Urk's Harbinger or Doomscar Warrior. I'm going to go for Doomscar Warrior. Put the counter onto the Reclamation Sage, swing in, and hopefully find myself a creature or land. Nykthos for sure. Now, that's, unfortunately, the Great Henge is going to the bottom of the deck, but we have Devotion for days. We've already got 5. We can get another 3 off the Silverback Elder. This is 2 mana for essentially 2 mana. We're going to be in a very good spot if all of these stay alive for a turn. Now, sometimes these Tajik decks actually run a bunch of board wipes because they have an indestructible commander. You don't lose that much. You lose the things he summoned for free. Oh no! Okay, so they're turning the Doomscar Warrior into a reprobate, not Goreclaw. I'm wondering if they have a Lightning Bolt here to hit my commander with. Thankfully, Silverback Elder, if we cast a creature spell with it on the battlefield, we can destroy an artifact of enchantment. Ooh, they're stepping. And a Shadow Spear! Nice. Can give this lifelink and get rid of any indestructible I happen to have. They bolted the bear. We will kill this. Boop. Boop. It has to attack. Hello there, Nykthos. Yep, making sure it's not tapping that first. Perfect. And now we've got all the mana in the world. Let's binge some harbs. I will destroy the reprobation to start. Bottle Mammoth operational. I could also destroy that Shadow Spear. I don't think I need more lands right now. I've got a forest in hand. We go to combat, and I'm going to swing in with both of these. They can double block and kill one, and that's fine. I accept this. I would like the Doomscar Warrior to hit, though, and 1 damage is going through. Great. We killed the Boros Recruit. And hopefully we get something on top. Okay, we got a land. That's fine. Now we have a big monkey, a big old beast, and an elephant. If they want to target any of my things with spells, I'll get to draw a card. And it looks like that's enough damage coming in next turn, because remember, they all get +1/+1 and trample if we just swing in, to scare off the Boros deck. DG. Tatiova, Benthic, Druid. She ramps, especially with lands, because whenever a land enters the battlefield, you gain a life and draw a card. Well, I've got turn 1 ramp, they didn't, so we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to go ahead and grab Nykthos. Actually, I'm just going to grab the forest for now. So we have 2 lands in play, and we can get in a 3rd and a 4th next turn. I love a good bit of ramp. Ooh, a forest even. Into a Mind Stone. We glimpse the core. We're going to have so much mana available next turn. I love this. And Kami of Bamboo Groves. Getting first blood. There's usually a good mix of, like, counter spells, mass bounce spells, and big chunky creatures in a Tatiova deck. Because you can. And you may as well. I guess we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I just wanted to make sure it left up double green here. Assuming this doesn't get washed away. And it did get washed away. My hope was to use Doomscar Warrior here to put a counter onto the Kami of Bamboo Groves and go from there. This Arboreal Grazer, I am actually just going to throw this down into play. I don't have anything to put in. It's just an extra body on the board. The One Ring gives them protection, which means I won't be able to do any damage with Doomscar Warrior. Oh, and Kogla has nothing to fight, but I could still play it this turn to destroy the Druid class before they upgrade it. I kind of just want to play Goreclaw again, though, so I'm going to play Goreclaw. Playing Kogla would also give me the most devotion from Nykthos. Yeah, get him. Also, yes, I know that dealt no damage, but sometimes you just gotta swing in. For none. So they gained life off Druid class. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still up. Tamiyo lets them recur a spell from the graveyard, or mill cards into their graveyard, trying to find a specific spell. And I don't think they scryed at all. Yeah, so they're just looking for extra turns. Nice! That is an extra turn spell and a Cyclonic Rift in the graveyard. That is good. We're gonna go ahead and bring down this Doomscar Warrior. If only this counted for hitting other things. I think we're gonna get the... I think I need to kill Tamiyo. Get the counter on you. Play our good man, Kogla. I'm actually thinking about throwing this Doomscar Warrior back into my hand on their turn. Just for good measure. I don't need this bonus for next turn. Like, yeah, it's super lethal, but... no, I have to stop this. I really don't want them bringing back any extra turns or anything like that. I'll have enough for next turn. Yeah, we got big green boys. I could have held back Ronas. I'm just using up my mana. If anything gets put back in my hand, you got Devotion. Okay, Consuming Tide. I am going to choose to keep Kogla. I mentioned before that gives me the maximum devotion off Nykthos. Speaking of, like, devotion off Nykthos, some of these are essentially free devotion. I am trying to decide first, though. Do I want to ramp this turn or set up for the slamp this turn? 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna... Oops. I was actually trying to use the Kami there. That's fine. No, don't use the Nykthos yet. Fine. Use the Nykthos. Yeah, I was trying to get the Grazer out first for this. It's my bad. Sometimes you click bad. Kogla, go in, destroy the Druid class. Great. They'll be able to get another protection turn off the One Ring. One Ring's indestructible. Okay, we got... Vorinclex would be very rude against them, I feel. Filer of Vigor. This is big hasties, but they're going to be protected. I think Vorinclex. I think we already have the ability to get lots of damage in. We just want to slow down their mana. And this is a good way to do it. Also, Big Alfredo, thank you so much for the sub. Alright, so they're hecka protected. I can still attack in with Goreclaw to destroy their treasure, though. I do not think I will. How much mana do I have? Enough! Bringing out that Vorinclex, so we have a bunch more mana here. Goreclaw, we still have 2 mana. Thank you, Vorinclex. We get a big old discount. We'll throw this on here. And I will still attack in with Goreclaw. Die, Treasure. They can use a treasure to draw a card. So Vorinclex is my what I prioritize here because it's going to make it so our opponent essentially has only 1 tap for each of their lands across the next 2 turns. So sure, they can get lots of lands into play and they can tap them on this turn, but that means that if they are like, I don't know, River's Rebuking, they're not going to be able to take many actions on the turn after. And we already know where Cyclonic Rift is. It's in the trash. Silly, indestructible artifacts. Alright, so they are analyzing the pollen, and I believe they are tutoring for a creature or land. Probably a creature. But what creature? They don't have enough mana for a Hullbreaker Horror right now, but they could get a bit more mana if they put a land into play. They went for Mythweaver Pawk. Mythweaver Pawk is both a very large creature and also a creature that is going to get them additional lands. Oh, okay. So actually, they're trying to force a draw, I think. If they have a land that they could play here, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana, and they could pop down Pawk and cause an infinite loop. Okay, so here's the good news. They did not have the mana before, but oh, they drew one off the One Ring. All right, so this will get them, by the way, also infinite mana. So it's not necessarily going to be a brick for them because they are getting this extra mana each time these Pawks enter the battlefield. Now, if they have something like Cyclonic Rift, which we know they don't because it was in the graveyard. Wait. It was in a graveyard, they used it to collect evidence. It has to be something at instant speed that's able to get rid of the Ashaya, put it back into their hands, something like that. Will they be able to? I don't know. So we're going to fast forward until they take another game action. Oh, look, their timer started running out, so now it's automated. It's defaulting, it looks like, to make food. Eventually they'll hit 250 tokens unless they start sacrificing them, but they ran out of timer, so we draw. There you go! Technically they can make infinite mana and gain infinite life, but they don't have a way to break the loop, so the game ends in a draw. And it stinks that your opponent can force a draw like this, but you know what? That's how it goes. It's the classic, you think you're gonna lose, so you enter the game into a situation where your opponent can't win. Ridiculous. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. I was very happy to revisit Goreclaw, so thank you to whoever requested that I revisit Goreclaw. I love playing Mono Green. It's fun, it's stompy, and this one's great because it has the sub-theme of things with power 4 or greater. I'd say that some of the very similar commanders like Selvala, who also cares about high power, or Gwenna, who specifically cares about power 5 or greater, are also really fun to play. I find that Goreclaw is extremely aggro, and guess what? That could be really fun in Brawl. I won most of the games I played today. In fact, I only lost a couple of them. And for the most part, that was just other aggro decks that managed to go even faster than I did. If you're looking for the deck list, it is in the description of the video. And if you'd like to suggest a commander like this one, please let me know in a comment. Or you could leave a comment that's just like, wow, Amy, I really like bears. I wish that I could hug a bear. And I will say, wow, me too. I wish I could hug a bear, but I don't think most bears want to be hugged. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.